it's as simple as we say. It's just take the first step, and it all comes one after the other. But if you don't do it, if you're doubting on, okay, should I? Maybe you feel like you should hire somebody, but you're like, no, this is too complicated. It takes too much.
Too expensive.
Too expensive.
Yeah.
Limiting beliefs, as we all say, they're limiting you. You won't do it. And at the end, if you're not looking at the things with abundance, it's not happening.
Hi there, we are thrilled to have you here today. And for the people that don't know me yet, I'm Mark Miskes, interior designer, interior design business coach. And together with my friend and business partner, Sven van Buren, we are the proud founders of the Institute of Interior Impact, with, as we speak, a global community of more than 190,000 interior design professionals. And as fellow design enthusiasts, we believe in the transformative power of interior design to shape our world. Because together we possess the extraordinary ability to design spaces that go beyond aesthetics. We have the power to create environments that evoke emotions and foster connection, to create meaningful experiences that leave a lasting positive impact. Therefore, today in the Beyond Interior Design podcast, we're so happy to have her. And well, it's not easy for me to introduce her because she's a well-being design expert. She's an interior designer, keynote speaker, respected educator, columnist, multiple business owner. So, for example, founder of the Biophilic Society, founder of the award-winning interior design studio Harbicemonia, and she's dedicated to sustainability, well-being, nature, and design for a regenerative lifestyle for a beautiful planet. So please welcome, live from Valencia, España, this extremely passionate lady, full of temperament and a positive energy. I do like that a lot, Nuria Munoz.
Thank you, Mark. This is an amazing introduction. Thanks a lot for this opportunity, and I'm very glad to be here. It's really an honor to be here with you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we are going to talk about, well, for sure, it will have a really positive and good energy today, a nice vibe. That's, yeah, otherwise, that's what we do. So I have a question because harmonious living sounds good to me. And I already mentioned you in the introduction. We are going to talk about health, nature, design for a regenerative lifestyle. Tell us more. What is a regenerative lifestyle? Because we had some podcast guests previously, and sustainability was not the word anymore. We're not talking about sustainability. We need to talk about regenerative.
Okay. Yes.
So what is it?
What is it? It's a holistic approach. Regenerative lifestyle is a holistic approach, meaning that we want to create a sustainable life, but for a long term. So it has to do with positiveness, with everything which is interconnected to our lives. It's adding value to our lives, to the planet, to everything which is around us. So it's very, very holistic. It's very, just think about what nature is doing. Nature is regenerating. It's not being sustainable, it's regenerating. They're creating new things, new flowers are coming in the springtime. So it's about that. And it's all interconnected because a flower doesn't come just like that. You need maybe the soil, you need the air, you need the bees, you need many, many factors, and they all have to be in a good interconnected, but also positive and working well. So that's about it. Just put it like that.
Yeah, that's really a nature fact. But how now we are humans, we are living in nature, or some people don't. They never see nature. They live in this this brick world sometimes, and they love it. So how is it working for you as a human being? How can you
What's
connect?
my daily, let's say my daily vitamin to do that, you ask me?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So it's about being in balance, being in balance with me, with myself, with my family, with what is going around. So it starts with every morning you have some rituals, and one of the rituals is wake up and meditate. I have this great meditation. I'm doing it already for years. I do a mix of that, and sometimes I do just abundance meditation. But this one in particular, it's called the 6-phase meditation. It's amazing. It starts from taking care of yourself, of admitting that you have to give compassion to people. So you start focusing on compassion and in love from somebody, and then you spread to the world. Then it's about being grateful. It's very important to be grateful of the things we do, of the things we're doing in our life, but also in our work. So just pointing out, like, what's the 3 important things that have happened in the last week for me in a private and work life.
All right.
Then it's about there are many other things. I'm not going to talk about all of them, but in general, it's going from being grateful, having compassion. So if you have like a very bad moment with somebody, or you have some negativity, make compassion. Think about them with another type of view, like it's saying, okay, this person might have a problem and is doing that kind of action because it's not feeling good. So yeah, that's the compassion part.
Yeah. So well, let's say it's right now when we are live. It's Monday morning, so we are starting the week. People are looking at their calendar and they see, oh, well, these are the kind of appointments I do have. I need to work on that kind of projects. Wow, I need to do a lot, maybe. I have a deadline. So all these things are coming into your head. Maybe for some people already in the weekend, that's the worst place to think about it, because you need to focus on other stuff. But well, for sure, they open up the calendar this morning and they see all this stuff and they need to handle it.
Okay, I'll give you some suggestions on how I do it.
Yeah, how are you doing it? Because you seem to be always positive and energetic, and you are dealing with this stuff. I know you can.
Okay. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but okay. The way I do it is I look at the calendar the Sunday evening, so I don't go to bed with a lot of stress already. I know what's going to happen more or less in the week, and I'm prepared mentally. Then I do this meditation every morning. And very important for everybody who's listening here, I take 2 times a day, at least, a walk in nature. This is giving me kind of a pause in my daily life. And it's creating that I'm being more creative. I'm even more productive sometimes. Depends on the weather outside, of course, but it's really, this process for me, it's very important. So combination of those 2 are for me essential: nature and meditation. Of course, I do some workouts in the evening, and I love preparing nice food with my family, but mainly those are the things which are making me focus during the week.
Yeah,
because that balances out and doesn't work.
Yeah, so you really get into a kind of rhythm. It's really like rituals you have designed for your own perfect ideal lifestyle. Yeah. And what is it? Yeah, sometimes they say, you have this phrase like you should spend 20 minutes a day out in nature, unless you are too busy. And I really like that one, because in that case, you should spend an hour. And that's hard. When you are really frustrated, you are in the middle of a design process and you're staring at your screen or you want those inspiration. And you got, well, if you're fighting, it's never works. That's the wrong energy.
Completely right, Mark. But put it like this, it's the same as eating. If you don't make time to eat healthy, and it takes a little bit more time than normal, you start going to the hamburger shop and buying this fast food, which is not healthy for you. At the end, you're not going to feel good. So it's the same. If you start to realize that these 20 minutes are going to give you a boost of energy, it's like vitamins for free, you will feel much better. So it's not only feeling better, it's giving you the energy to do many more things, to be creative. So, for us as creatives that we are, this is the best thing to do. And it's giving us a bit of a sense of calmness. We calm down. So this is important for us. and we start to be more, as I said, more creative without noticing that we are doing something for it. So it's really, yeah, why shouldn't we? And there is also an excuse like, no, we are busy, this and that, but just doing it for 30 days, I would suggest to everybody who's doing it, who's listening today to this, just 30 days. You know that after 30 days, habits become real habits. So do it 30 days and it will be a habit for you. And there is no excuse, because it's like, why should we take a pill if we have it for free in nature? So you can go to the park, you can go to whatever, just try to find something which is near to you, which has some nature, and even meditate there or contemplate. Contemplation is amazing. I wrote an article about awe. Awe is one of the patterns of biophilic design, one of the tools I'm working with. And it's creating so much. It's about interconnection, about creativity, about feeling good. So yeah, I could talk about nature for hours, but it's trying to make it like a ritual.
Yeah, it's magical, because in Corona time there was there were a lot of people that were going wrong way. They gained weight, and they were unhappy. And on the other side, people were focusing really on health in a kind of survival mode, like, hey, if I'm really, really healthy, then Corona won't get me. And these are the two camps, and you saw that in all society. I was definitely on the healthy part, so I took long walks every morning, 1 hour, even when it's not was not allowed in the evenings. We got this part. We had an 8 hour 8 p.m. You were not allowed to go outside on one moment. I know in Spain it was a lot worse. My cousin is living there. It was horrible. Yeah, he had to spend his time, fortunately, on a roof terrace. You could go outside, but it was worse. But on that moment, I got this habit, because I did it for such a long time. I got addicted to it, and I knew what it can bring you, what it gives you when you do that. Even when you think, okay, I have a really busy schedule, and you take, let's say this 30 minutes now, you're so much more energized and inspired. Yeah, and it's getting more in the flow. It's more light.
That's it. This brings next to, taking care of things, taking care of nature. If you are going to many times a day or a week to nature, you start to get that connectedness to it, to get that responsibility of nature, of sustainability, of good products, of good materials, and everything is interconnected. So the more you go, the more connection you have for a better lifestyle, and it's all reflected in all things that you're doing.
Yeah, that's what you see. So you start with yourself.
Yes, and then it goes outside. So for me it started by changing place. I was
changing place.
Place. I moved. I've been living and working in Belgium for 20 years. And my body at a certain moment needed some changes. So we did some creative things. We had a dream, my husband and I, and we just said it in half a year time. We did it. We sold all things, all businesses in Belgium, and we moved to Spain, to Valencia. And believe me, it's not that everybody has to move to another country, but it's about changing places, changing environments, and creating environments where you thrive. That's really, really important. So for me, it was really like I noticed it myself, and this is giving me the energy to do all the things I'm doing. Of course, because I'm doing also, I'm doing what I like, and this is my mission to do what I'm doing. But it's really amazing.
Yeah, you created the world around you. You were searching for this environment that gave you the juice for life. That's to get more.
It's the same as what people say. Okay, be surrounded by people who make you thrive.
Yeah,
be surrounded by negativity, by people who are putting you down. It has had a big impact. So everybody who's listening now, just take a look at how many hours a week are you spending with people who are negative. So if these people are bringing you down, or negative clients, if they're bringing you down, what could you do to change that, to make it more positive?
Yeah.
To maybe say, I don't need this type of customers because these are not giving me what I need. So it is important to live that way. Living happy people are living better and longer. So why shouldn't we?
Yeah, this had a big impact for me, and doesn't sound really friendly, but because when I hear this about the social context you have in your environment, all those maybe negative frequencies that are taking, well, they take over you. If you're not aware of it, they have a big impact on your lifestyle and the way how you see life and daily life. If they are complaining the whole day, it's even with, well, my biggest example is when I brought my kids to school this morning. Okay. And then you always have those, well, mothers that are always complaining every day. It's I think, how can you complain so much? There's always something to complain. And that's what they do. And they stick there. When I go maybe for a walk and then I come back from this half an hour or 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I come back, they're still there at the fence complaining. I'm like, whoa, this is well, they master it. They master it. But so when you have really friends, and that was kind of that was a big insight for me. So I'm really glad you brought it up, because maybe you have some friends from primary school, and we have this thing that if you are really emotional connected with them, or it feels like, wow, this is really special because you know them for so long. But life can change. You have a lot of switches. You have your own career, your own family, of different things in life. Maybe they don't fit you anymore. But if you push so hard to maintain the relationship because you know them for so long, those are the ones that gave me a lot of extra energy and joy for life. Because it was like, okay, what if and Corona was doing that a little bit for me. Hey, you lose the relationship is getting worse and worse even in that period, because they were shifting literally the other way, and then it's really easy.
That's it. And what you said, take care of the friends and of the people you care. So send a nice message once in a while. Be mindful of that, and try to make it really like to make them feel that they're important for you. Because sometimes we're so busy, but even customers. If we just have a good connection with them, if we sometimes say like, are you liking your kitchen? Like the kitchen you just did, how are you liking it? Are you enjoying it? You have so much feedback, and it's so nice to be part of them, of that of that creative process that you were there, and of their lives. So
you're talking about the moments they're spending in the environment.
Yes,
you're not talking about the beautiful detailed kitchen or the material, or it's about what are they doing with it, how are they living with it.
Which for me is when I'm creating spaces, is the most important thing, because we're doing for what are we doing? For making it nice, only for that, or for creating moments for people, for creating, for example, spaces where they can create memories with their families, memories with their kids. That's for it. And we try to do them as good as possible to have those positive impacts, to have these beautiful experiences with their families. The same with in commercial spaces, the same in workspaces. It's about the feelings. It's about that.
you know our philosophy, form follows meaning.
Yes.
And meaning can be, it can mean different things to many people, but it's all about this meaning. If you don't have this meaning, this higher purpose, this beyond part attached to what you are creating, then it's worth nothing. And then you can talk about it's really sustainable or regenerative or whatever, but it's not. If people, even when they don't like it because it's ugly, then you can design the most sustainable thing. But when they don't like it, then they will destroy it again.
That's it. That's it. It's about that. Now we're getting to something very interesting. It's about listening to them. It's about being part of them. It's about getting under their skin. It's about feeling the same way they feel, acting the same way they act. And once we can translate that into the projects we're doing, then it's like, okay, pong, super satisfaction.
It's pong, yeah, that's the word. Yeah, it's literally beyond, you said it as well, beyond aesthetics. We do agree on that one, because that's where I think where everybody is, well, we are shifting to another kind of energy in the world. I don't know what it is. It's hard to mention it, but we're shifting. We need so much more emotions and meaning attached to everything we're doing to get the fulfillment, because everything is there. Technology is moving fast. I say it a lot in this podcast. I will go more in depth on that one with Christoph in the summer, because all this artificial stuff, artificial intelligence, it goes so fast. When consumers are getting grip on this, then we really have to think about what is it that we are doing as interior designers. When all the skills are just going to the computer, people do the job.
Yeah, I have my thoughts about that, and it's also about how you can talk to an AI computer. You will never be able to adapt what we know as humans to a computer system. So even if you put so much data, you can create something good, which looks good. But how about feelings? How about understanding the consumer? How about tweaking all the time that feeling? I'm a bit accepted to that, but okay.
Yeah, but it's really individual, eh? And that's so beautiful. I think that's the most beautiful part of our job, to connect with every individual. When you are serving a family or even a company, you need to tap on their individual emotions and see what is it that they're, how do they feel about it? What kind of associations do they have? These are really powerful tools to get in the right direction.
That's what a regenerative design is doing. It's going as deep as, okay, where are you living? Which space are you living? Which culture is there? Just adapted to where you are, who you are, what your environment is. It's really, really, really tailor-made, but all the way. And it starts by understanding, how do they feel? Are they having any diseases? Like, we tapped into health. We tapped into well-being. That's so important, something which interior design has never been like that, and we see now through all the science behind. There's so much that's coming out through neuroarchitecture, neuroaesthetics, all biophilic design, multisensorial spaces, all that. It's giving us so much information to do it right. So it's about us now to understand the tools and to understand the customer and translate it to them. That's it. I don't think that artificial intelligence machine or computer will be able to do that, but who knows?
No,
it's another subject.
Yeah, it's another subject, definitely. But I do like the fact that you're connected with science of design and all this as a keynote speaker and ambassador and all the stuff. And the technology and the science is proving that we need beauty in our life. That we really need this feeling of this well-being and this health thing, because to get the fulfillment. Otherwise, we're losing it. And that's a nice thing about this other scientific part. It's not this creative free. It feels in another way. It doesn't sound that.
No, and it's nice about having both science telling us, okay, if you are aware that certain tools, certain things are helping you and your customers to thrive in that space, you should think about that in your way of designing. So somewhere in the first stages of the design process, think about that. And when you are doing that design and being creative and creating beautiful things, go back again to that list of, okay, what was the purpose of doing of creating here? And was it because people wanted to feel good in the spaces, or people have stress and we have to reduce stress, or it's making that people are more productive or whatever, or do they have a kid with ADHD and they need to make him a bit more concentrated in that space? Depending on the subject, you are creative, but you always go back to the tools, and that's what science is giving us, and that's a nice thing about it. Makes it both.
Yeah, How do we communicate that? Because we are talking with the interior impact formula. We have all the things connected. We talk about participation with your client to go on a deeper level, talking about the higher purpose.
Yes.
Really it's about living on your terms as you as an individual, but also communicating your design principles, your own principles with your clients, so they know you are the right designer for them. So how do you start with that? Because a lot of designers, they want to be more visible, they want to be more connected, they want to attract the right clients, and they can spend a lot of marketing and websites. That's the most common thing we hear in discovery calls and growth calls. Yeah, I'm spending 3,000, 4,000 euro on a new website and all social media ads, and then you get the lead, and then you're entering a website, and then, well, let's say hollow. It's not a really positive word, but it's like, okay, why should I work with you? What's the purpose? Why you get out of bed every morning? How do you communicate it? So how do you start to connect with yourself? Because that's obviously the first thing. You need to start with yourself.
Yes,
that's
a good question, Mark. It's sometimes it's challenging. I always say I attract my right clients when I see that I have somebody who's not in line with what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I did this a lot in the beginning. Then I should just say no, because you need a lot of explanation for those people who are not getting you.
So, agree. Yeah.
First of all, get the right people and get the right ideal clients, let's say.
But how do you get clarity? Because upfront you need to get clarity about your own vision and purpose.
Okay.
How do you connect with that? Because you had a strategy to change your environment, and then you got a lot of insights, or that's what happened in your life. And I really do like that, because Sven and I sometimes we go 1 week, we go somewhere else just to get out of everything, and you're literally zooming out just by already the decision that you are going to do it is working. That's magical, right?
Yes.
You just make the plan to go somewhere else for 1 week.
It's even more fun that moment than maybe going already there.
Yeah, but there is something already working in your mind. It's the same. Like I had some last year. I had some coaches really working on the inner world, about grounding and feeling the energy, getting connected with yourself. Because we sometimes you can imagine with the institute, with so many people and followers, where it's like, wow, this is kind of overwhelming. But you just need to tap in your own potential and feeling and energy. So I work with a coach for that one.
Yes, I do. I have a coach at home as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Always need coaching, right?
You need always.
It never stops. Yeah.
All type of coaching, ladies, gentlemen out there, it's really necessary. It's very important to have someone who is putting the mirror in front of you and making you go higher in your thoughts. It's really important. But you asked me, how do I do that? Okay. I've been trying many things, because at the beginning I thought, okay, I will talk about the science. I will talk only about the science. And my expertise is biophilic design, which I'm really passionate about. And just by talking about that, it's like closing doors. Biophilic, what? Why are you talking?
Yeah.
No, this is a tool. So I changed the wording of talking to my clients, and I changed the word of communicating to prospects. And it's not about biophilic design is one of the tools I'm using, but it's about the person in front. So what do I tell them? I start with what I do normally in my projects, is tapping in their personalities, tapping in their, really going inside, like asking them, you know that if you are introvert, and these are some of the ladies here, I will understand what I'm saying. If you're introvert and your husband is extrovert, you know that your spaces will not match if you don't think and create a space in that way. And they're like, oh, wow, what are you talking about? So yeah, there are many studies out there that if you're introvert, you need kind of an environment, and if you're extrovert, you need something else. So you have to take into account those things. So those feelings already, like, are you being hurt? Do you feel yourself hurt? How do you feel? And telling them, talking about passion, about feelings, it's the most important thing. That's the way. And that it took me a long time to get there. to not to talk about biophilic design. You can increase productivity and creativity, and you become super happy, and blah blah blah, and all these benefits. Yes, it is like that, but they don't care. And another important thing is about return on investment. When I'm working with commercial, this is a very important start. Like, okay, you know that if you spend so much, this normal investment is so much. By having my expertise is so much more, and they're like, no, that's not what we want to do. But if you explain, okay, imagine that you have 100 employees and you have a return on investment of 18% in productivity, tell me, put figures on the paper, and then they start to listen. So depends on the client you have, but mainly when you're creating residential, is about the feelings of the family, about understanding who is there, who are the kids, and how to communicate that. So I meditate on that. I try to put myself on their shoes before I have a talk to them, to understand how they could feel. So I have many examples. I have right now I'm doing a project where these are two new, a new, how do you say that in English? Two new families in one. So they have, in total, they have like 5 kids. So, okay, how do you start with that? I told already to them, you have to talk to them and let me interview them as well. I need to talk to the kids, or to have some information about them, because it's not only about you guys, it's also about the kids, which are really much more important in this situation, because they're not from the same father and mother. So they have to, we have to understand how they live and who they are before we start to create something. Yeah, they had a different background, totally other dynamics, maybe. Yes. And those talks, by talking to them that way, they're like, oh, I'm really being listened. At the end, it's about that. Being listened. And the people who are just there for the nice looks, these are not your clients. So just we always say they don't need to understand you, they need to make them feel understood. That's it. That's the magic. That's the magic. Yeah, and you can tell everything about how wonderful you are and what you are creating and how you do it, but it's not important. No, not at all. And they only want to know, does this interior designer, do they get me? Am I in the right place? Is this worth the investment? Is she or he doing the thing that it's beyond my expectations? That's it. And that way you're raising your value. That's it. So it seems very simple, but it has a lot of work behind the scenes. So that's the added value that you give to the customer, where they have to understand that, okay, maybe it doesn't cost 100, but it costs 130, 150, maybe 200. It's much more, it's deeper, that work. But at the end, the customer satisfaction is like, wow, amazing. And that's what we're aiming at the end. What do we want? We are creating spaces for somebody else, not for our egos. We should forget our egos and put our egos on another table on that side. We are creating spaces for them. So with that mindset. I would like to get back on the environment switch, because you're telling people that if you are an introvert, you need a more introvert space, maybe, and maybe they're really attracted by. It's like when you are really chaotic. People are always telling us, surrounding me, when we have a design job, wow, I want to this. They are showing us such a clean kitchens and environments, and it's like almost spaceships. I'm like, okay, I see your existing home and you want us to create a spaceship. Let's fill in the gap. What's going on here? And it's kind of a utopia that they're showing, but we know for sure that they will not be happy at all if they need to live in this kind of environment. That's it. And you we don't tell them really upfront, but we wake them a little bit up. Yes. we massage them a little bit on that one. Like, I have my doubts, but let's continue. Let's find out if this is what you really want. But to stretch your comfort zone, or to stretch yourself, sometimes can be good, but maybe it has to do with switching the environment to have another view on the world, another perspective. Yes.
If you are really introverted and you're going 1 week to a really bold, heavy, dense environment, you for sure you will come back with another mindset and energy.
Yes.
Then when
Yes.
you're visiting events or you just had your coaching call, then and they are really stretching you. You
Yes.
have new perspectives, and then you can get back in your own zone. But someone was changing something. The frequency changed.
That's right. It's a simple example about that, and it's really it's not about introvert extroverts. It's about, okay, let's say that we have kids and they're not reading. They're really not into reading, and by tweaking the environment and putting a library very close to where they play and having very easily access to those books, it's already for them like, okay, you're pushing them somehow to use those books, to open those books. So it's like what you say, if I'm an introvert, but I love talking to people, but I need to also go back and to be my cocoon. Sometimes my husband says, but you are really like in your cocoon too much. I say, yeah, but I need it. I went a whole week outside, so I really need to recover and to put my batteries at the level which have to be done. So yeah, it's important to get out of those comfort zones. Something I do, and maybe it's something that your listeners will love to hear, is I do with my customers, is a log activity.
A log activity.
So I tell them, apart from these interviews, like are you introvert, it's very psychological interviews I do with them. I ask them to do a log of activities during the whole week. Meaning, like, tell me, what do you do in the morning? Where do you take your coffee? What do you do in the evening? What's your activity? And put colors to those activities and tell me if those activities are being regenerative for you, or are you putting down, or are asking so much energy from you, or they're just, okay, you have to do them.
So like regenerative can be replaced of the activities that are recharging you or are giving you energy, energizing you.
Really like happy. Like, okay, some people are loving, they love cooking. And so this moment is like for them, like really important. So putting that in mind, you have, knowing that you have to put in the project that vision, like, okay, they put this activity really important. So you have to create that space for them in taking into account what they want. But sometimes, but it happened also is I had a customer who wanted to do yoga but didn't have the space. So she put like, I would love to have yoga in the morning, but I don't have the space. So then you start your creation from that point of view. Like, okay, they want to do yoga. If we change the environment a little bit, might create or we might induce that customer to do some of yoga in the morning. So yeah.
And was she actually looking for a yoga place, or was it?
No, she was dreaming about it. She said, I would love to do yoga. I don't have the time. I don't do it. But let's see. She put it like, okay, I think this should be important for me in the morning.
Yeah.
So we changed the living space to create a little yoga space for her in order to do it.
Yeah.
And, it's helping. So it's again.
It's great. You can measure it, the effect of it. But we know it's all there. Eh? When she's doing yoga now, only if maybe it's once a week on Sunday morning or whatever, it doesn't matter. She has this kind of energy place, or it will makes her conscious always that she needs to do more of it. And then I think then we are going to coming at a really important step, that you just need to take every time your first next step. A lot of people are seeing the whole big picture. It can be in your life, with your business life. It's like, I want to get there. And then, well, that feels really scary. Or people like, I don't know how to do it. And how is the most frustrating part. I'm always like, if you know the why, then it's going quite well. The universe will work with you if you really have a clear why.
That's it. But as you said, you need to start by taking the first steps and by not fearing the things and asking coaches to help you out.
Yeah.
Reflecting on what you're doing, being mindful in what you're doing, and taking every little step, one thing at a time, will help you to get there. But if you don't do it, if you're just dreaming, like you said all the time, you won't do it. I tell you from my own experience, we looked for more than 5 years to go to Spain. Yes, no. Oh, it's scary. We have a business. No. 3 kids. We're not going to do it. It took me up to the moment that I went to a coach, and this person just made me believe it. Like, you can do it. You can do anything you want. It's between your feet. And you can do really anything you want. And from that moment, bam, you start creating, doing things.
Yeah, you're manifesting it. Yeah.
So it's to anyone there listening right now, it's really it's as simple as we say. It's just take the first step, and it all comes one after the other. But if you don't do it, if you're doubting on, okay, should I, maybe you feel like you should hire somebody, but you're like, no, this is too complicated. It takes too much.
Too expensive.
Too expensive.
Yeah.
Limiting beliefs, as we all say, they're limiting you. You won't do it. And at the end, if you're not looking at the things with abundance, it's not happening.
No.
So yeah.
So sometimes you need the kind of experiences in life that will, when you really need to do it. I had a trainer. I didn't like it, but I like the idea. They said, "What if I put a gun on your head right now, and you need to have 100,000 tomorrow, money wise, because then you can do whatever you want. Like, hey, you need 100,000 euros, so let's get it. I put a gun in your head. Do you have this $100,000 tomorrow, or 100,000 euro? Well, probably, because otherwise I will do something really horrible with your kids. Okay, I'm gonna. I'm going to get it. Yeah, but sometimes it's a small moment. We have in our membership program, the one-on-one mentoring we were doing. We have a woman, and she's pregnant a few months, and so she's looking at her really to spend time with her newborn baby and the last phase of the pregnancy. So we literally are designing this moment for her, because now she's actually zooming out, and her ambitions are like, hey, I want a small team who's doing my sales, who's doing the design job, who's doing all the stuff. And she had this limited belief, I can afford a freelancer. She literally hired one last week. So I was so proud that she made the step, and it felt so great for her. And I said, see that this, hey, you were telling me, well, this pregnancy it was not an accident for sure. It was really, she wanted to be pregnant, but it was like, hey, this is, well, it has effects on my business, and how do I handle with that? She was more like, okay, then I cannot spend the time on my business, which I like. I can, all these beliefs, negative beliefs. I was like, hey, look at the other way. What is going on here? This is wonderful. This is the opportunity to zoom out and to see how you need to design your business for the long term. Because that's the whole idea of the mentorship, right? You want to design your business. Now we have an opportunity to zoom out. Yeah, and amazing what it is doing to your mindset.
I can imagine you. A few months ago, I wrote my new mission, and I wrote it, and I just said, okay, I'm going to spread it, and I'm going to start doing it, and it's happening. It's like, okay, I said I want to make a positive global impact with design. Is it through? I didn't know at the moment what way I'm going to exactly do to do it in a global way, but things are happening. You're taking the first steps, and little by little, I don't know, the universe is like listening to me. I don't know what's happening, but things happen. So it's really amazing. Just so to all of you, just grab it and go little by little. Don't listen to those. I say, to those little demons or saboteurs in your head. We all have them. I follow this. It's like a course. It's called Positive Intelligence, and it's about what are our saboteurs telling in our heads, and which are our saboteurs. We all have them in different ways.
Yeah, because we are created to survive, right? That's the whole idea of this human human design. And we don't need it that much anymore, actually, because there are no tigers and elephants hunting on us.
No, but still our own thoughts are our saboteurs.
Yes.
So these we have to manage, and we have to manage in the way like, okay, if I started to have this negative thought, just a second, just focus. This is some saboteur talking to me. This is not me. This is saboteur. Just get rid of it. And that helps also a lot. So for those who, we're talking about coaching. It's everything interconnected.
Yeah, it is.
At the end, you see, it's about. You asked me at the beginning of the session what's regenerative approach or lifestyle. It's about all the things together. I encourage everybody to have a good balance in all the pillars of the well-being, all of them, and one of them is environmental. These are spaces, and we are responsible for that. We could be doctors of people through our design. Yeah. But it has to start with ourselves. We have to be an example for our customers. So we have to do it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, great. I love the idea of it. That's what we are preaching to. Design your life around everything, even around your business. Sometimes the business is leading. I think first the business, and then second is my private life or my personal life or whatever. But the magic is in, if you turn it the other way around, you have clarity about what it is that you really want.
That's
what
it.
The impact you want to create, what you the higher purpose you have in mind for your clients and customers, and even with your friends and family.
That's it.
Then there's something,
Yes.
That's a switch. So not the other way around. Yeah, and then you are way more in line and connected with everything.
Completely right. Then you're not going into burnout, or you're not having stress, because it's not. We are not working in the same with the same energy and power if we're in these negative thoughts. So we're not creating in the right way. We are not having the right impact on the people we want to have. If we're not ourselves being imbalanced. So it's really, really important. Yeah.
So do you have a last takeaway for us? To have an amazing, healthy and happier life? What can you do right now after you're listening to the podcast?
After listening to the podcast, you can go to the nature for 15 minutes, or for those who are going to listen it later on, just listen to the podcast on outside in nature. And that's my suggest. Right now I'm creating many things. I would like to talk about my next adventure.
Share us a little bit, because that's
So as you heard, I want to make a global positive impact, and I believe that what we have been talking and about science and design and biophilic design and all these different tools that we use, putting them in the right balance, are the future for interior design and for architects and for designers in general. So I am creating a platform and an academy, which is going to help all of you guys to become and to have more connectedness with your customers. I will give you the tools, of course, but it's also about learning that connectedness. How we connect with the customers, how can we make a positive impact on them, and this has at the same time a positive impact on you, on your business, on all your connections and all of the network. So it is a platform which will start in October, and I'm right now preparing it at the background. So I'm really excited for that. To be amazing, an amazing place for people like you and me and many other who want to get inspired and get deeper and be more mindful and engage deeper with our customers.
Wonderful. Well, you gave us some amazing insights on how to be healthier, happier, to get your energy back, to recharge, very important, to relax, smile, and to feel at ease, to feel comfortable with some maybe some bold choices you have to make, or you need to make in order to get
Yeah.
where you want to be. So thanks a lot for that, for sharing this. Yeah, good luck with all your stuff which is going on. It's a lot, I know it. Yeah. So
Thank you a lot.
good luck with that.
Thank you, and I hope I inspired some people with this talk. And
definitely
remember that it's about little by little, and connecting with nature has a lot to do with how you feel. So yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you for this opportunity. Anyway, both of you, Mark and Sven.
Thank you.